Today is day 178 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are continuing on here at Code Wars. Our next CADA we'll be tackling is most completed. We'll do fundamentals and 7. All right. We've conquered vowel count, jade encasing, disembowel trolls, your square, which was yesterday's, get the middle character, descending order, and square every digit. I feel like that would be very similar to what we did yesterday, but I think that's okay. That's good. It'll be growing on itself to some degree. Let's see what this all entails. Okay, welcome. In this CADA, you are asked to square every digit of a number. Wow. For example, if we run through 9,119 through the function, what is that? That's 811,181 will come out. Note, the function accepts an integer and returns an integer. So let's go ahead and train and dive into this one. Now, this is their test. 9,119 is 811,181. Function, square digits. I think it would be very basic. However, because I'm crazy and I remember the last 2 or 3 CADAs we've done, which have, I think, covered certain dynamics of this. I know we're going to need to go through the whole number, each integer, and we will also be squaring all the stuff. So I'm going to look at the past CADAs that I've completed. Most completed. Level 7 and fundamentals. Good. So from here, we want descending order, and you're a square. So we're going to extract the souls from these two CADAs and cram them into today's function. All right. So, do they have our solution? Oh, yes, our solution. Beautiful. I know we could use the cool kids solution, but I'd kind of prefer to use our solution. 378 similar codes are grouped with this one, and this is what I submitted. So let's go ahead and take that, copy. Now, this is the descending. This will go through nonsense. Beautiful. Dum. D. So this is 1 bit. a descending order where it will ratchet through each number, almost like our for loop. We're going to have to remove some of the stuff, tinker with some things here and there, but I think it's a good foundation for what we're going to need to be doing. And then here, your square, which was yesterday's, we've got our solutions. Of course, we could borrow the cool kids' solutions, but we are going to stick with what we submitted. So my solutions. She's loading and loading. Okay. So 146 similar code. Death. 146 similar code variations grouped with this one. This will be the foundation for the actual squaring of the beast. So we get to take these two bits and shove them in here. So, once more from the top, welcome. In this CADA, you're asked to square every digit of a number. For example, if we run 9,119 through the function, 811,181 will come out. Note the function accepts an integer and returns an integer. So we want function square digits num. So num will be the parameter. Instead of n, we could easily change that, but in the meantime, we'll leave it as is. May the code be with you. Good, good. We've got some Star Wars fans here. That's nice. Now, what would we want to do first? I think we want to go through, we want to take the number and break it into everything. Parsing it, n, so that would end up being num to string. So we'd string it out, split it. Each number becomes its own thing. We don't need to sort or reverse it. So we are actually able to get rid of these. However, from here, there was another lesson we did the other day. I think it was the Jaden one. There was something regarding a variable that we set up but didn't use or something to that effect. It was another looping thing, and there was a certain aspect, I think it had to do with the capitalization regarding the line that contains splice in the solution. And we initially split the thing, then we had to designate via map, I think, capitalization of it, and then we had to stitch it all back together. So let's give that a shot to sort of tie all of these together. And I think that will be good. String stuff, copying. And so we're breaking everything apart. Now, I think this will actually contain everything we need here. At least most of it, because this also, if I'm not mistaken, breaks things apart. I'm just trying to figure out to what point. So we've got this first one. Let's break that up. Then we've got this second one. Break that up. Death. And some breathing room here at the bottom, so we can scroll through nicely. So to go through, I know it's definitely not going to be all of this. It's just There's already some fun stuff from all the past ones we've done. Hey, Topher. Welcome. How is your evening going? 6:11. Yes. Good. Hopefully your 6:11 is going well. 6:11 in the evening. Or what is it? 18:11 if you prefer 18:12. If you prefer 24-hour time code referencing. Good times. What are we doing? Yes. So I grabbed today's just little backup since I just noticed you. What are we looking at? Quick rundown. So we're taking the number they give us, and then we are squaring each digit as we go through. So, yeah, and we're left with this abomination here. Tons of fun, right? With that said, I notice to achieve this, the last couple of CADAs that I've gone through have all kind of covered different aspects of this. There was the descending order one, where we go through the entire number, we break the number into an array, do all the fun stuff, and then join it back together. I figured that could be handy. Tearing this apart into an array. And then we had the squaring of the number. I figured once we ripped everything into an array, we could then square it all, each one. And then once that was done, we could stitch it all back together. However, there was a similar one, the Jaden one, that we just did, I think 2 days ago, where we ended up using like a variable because the math dot square root is its own thing. This can't, at least I don't think it can be. Maybe it can. You know what? Now that I think about it, I think yesterday you did mention, or someone mentioned, that math.string could be tied into the dot method nightmare train. But visually, mentally, it's easier for me to just break it into the multi-steps like so. Anywho, that's a little fun fact mentally what's going on here. That's why I've got so many different bits of nonsense below our code for today's CADA. What are we going to do? So from the top, if I were confused in trying to square each digit to get this guy, I'd first want to rip it all apart. So it was all this. We had sort and reverse involved in there, but we've since removed sort and reverse. So we're turning the number, which is num. I think I'm just actually going to change this to n. Can I do that? I don't know if I need to change everything to num, or if I can just change the parameter to n. I think the only thing that it really needs is the square digits. I don't think it actually needs the num. I think as long as this is function square digits, I think we'll be golden. So we're going to change u to n, and basically everything should work from there. So we will be, henceforth, copying this. You know what? And maybe this can be our variable from Jaden. Instead of return string, is this dot split, where it's ripping everything apart. And then the uppercase had to be its own thing. Just like my concern about math dot square root having to be its own thing. That can be this variable. So here, we can make it, what do we want to call it then? So square digits n would be variable, variable I'm never good with variable names. Usernames and variable names. Oh, hey, look at that. Back, perfect. Speak the devil. Not speak the devil, but perfect example. Being terrible with usernames. Bagnala, East Side represent, true dat. Although Topher Gates is definitely, I think, for the win, as I am in California too. Quote, West Side. What are we looking at? Variable, we are choosing a name. Score. That's not a good. SQNum. Let's do that. SQNum. That's a good enough thing. It should probably be SQArray. Not important. We're ripping this apart. And then we're going to do something with it. Instead of mapping everything, we want to do something. That was str.map. So I want to take sqnum and do math with it. Oh, why split and then join? You're right. Joining should not be happening. That was because I was confused and I saw the splitting stuff, and then I just realized that I didn't need to sort or reverse it for these ones since I'll be squaring each number in a row. But I guess I don't need join at this point either. So join can go straight to hell. Join shall be henceforth eliminated. Be gone. There we go. Join has been dealt with. And I think that means we can get rid of this guy. That's everything we needed from him. For now. I don't know if we actually need the parse bit, but we're going to leave that on hold. So, good. Now we're only down to 2 bits of nonsense. 2 other katas that were somewhat similar and could be of use to building this. Right now we've got our number, n. We've got a new variable, squared number, which is being ripped apart. N2 string becomes a string. We're splitting at each one. And then we're going to be doing stuff with it. From here, we're going to do... Let's do, you know what? Let's call it string array. String arg. Strigard. Good. It's a terrible pirate name. Variable. This will be square number. That's not, that was square mum. Equals something regarding math dot blank. Function something or other n if math blankety blank. And they only want integers, so I don't know if I still need all of this. Only square if it's an integer. Why split? Immediately join. If you want to parse n into a string, you don't need parse lint either. I guess you wouldn't be parsing to string, but typecasting to string, I think. I'll go ahead and get rid of it now. I know this isn't needed. Well, you know what? I guess that's exactly the point. If this isn't needed now, I should get rid of it. I can bring it all together in the end when I have to stitch the nightmare back into one piece. So that's just string array is becoming squared number. So I want string r. I want math.string r. I think. Copy. Can I just do... My concern is I don't know if I need the if function like I did for yesterday, because they say, note, the function accepts an integer and returns an integer. So I don't think that means it's supposed to have any decimals. And I think that's what the modulo 1 equals 0 is. Return blankety blankety blank. I guess I can have all this. We can try it. There's no downside to it, I suppose. I mean, it's still essentially the same thing. But I think I need the if. No, I guess I don't need the if. The equal sign says do this, if that's equivalent. I don't even know anymore. I don't know who gave me the keys to do this. This is just all wrong. Semicolon, fingers crossed. Now we need to bring it all together, which is the join stuff, and I think I can parse things together. We had new string here, and that equaled old string. So star goes into star, so I want to return square num. God, why? It feels like this is almost coming together, but that's strange, because the last, 10 plus days have been a friggin' nightmare. Return square num dot join and... Well, let's copy it. We dragged it all here. We might as well use it, right? Copy. But there's no space. Do I need to join on each number? I guess I don't need to join. I guess I can just do the parse thingy. Where the deuce did it go? It was this guy. I guess I don't even need join. Do I join? God, I can't remember. Parse integer. I guess I do join with no space and parse integer. I'll do that. Join with no space, followed by parse int. Okay. I think there's more that needs to happen here, like drop in an if statement and then return something, or put in like a winking emoji, or I don't know, something's missing from this bit of code. What's going down? Topher. Guess you wouldn't be parsing toString, but typecasting toString. You have an array of strings, so you need to iterate through each item in the array. Damn, I was hoping that was happening automatically with the math dot square root thing. But I guess it's not. It's just doing the giant string as a whole. Okay, so I do need to set up an ifs. No, I need to set up a for loop. I need to set up a for loop and do this with each I. That's what's happening. So, pretty sure that's what's happening. Let's keep reading. Userman 2. CODEWARS, yes. You could loop through the array and replace the item at the current iteration index with its square root. Not square root. It's missing... Lol code, that's what's missing. Yeah, it's... Okay. It's missing a lot. The item squared map. Should I do map again to square the crap out of this? We use map in the Jaden thing. But now I need to convert the map stuff. So map blah 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 function x. I think I could do the same thing. Instead of x.character at, I could do math.square root. I think that would work. Maybe. Who knows? I know it's wrong. I just want to see what errors I'm getting. Oh, yeah, wow. Something about E value 60. Oh, it's super pissed at all the nonsense stuff. That's right. Let me comment all that out. Just for good measure. And we're commenting, and we're commenting. Beautiful. Run sample. There we go. Square number dot join is not a function. I agree with that sentiment. Yes. Good. Noted. What is the end goal? We are simply going through a number they give us. For example, 9,119. And we are taking each integer and squaring it. So from there, we'd get 811,181. So 81 for 9, 1 and 1 for the in between, and then 81 again for the following 9. So that's what we're doing. I needed to deal with the mapping stuff. So the mappy stuff was, let's take this variable square number, copy, and put this guy here, square number, and string yarg, copy, string r, and x would be n? No, leave it as x. However, we would be returning map square n something to that effect, I think. But this would be x. That's how I see it in my mind. I notice there's a lot of stuff going on in chat. You could loop through the array and place an item at the current iteration index with its square root, not square root, missing code. That's what's missing, yeah. Item squared, map. What's the end goal? Something like constant death. Something like constant squares equals string r dot map n arrowy thing plus n squared untested, since I'm on my phone. The way I did this one, this is userman 2. The way I did this one is to iterate through the string, convert each one into an integer, square it, add it to a list array, and then join it. Yeah, that's kind of what I was shooting for. The slower, less pretty version. Just as... See, I still need to learn the constant stuff. Yeah, userman 2 gets it. Arrow thingy, right? I don't, it's there's a lot going on. I encountered it at Code Academy, but they went over it like only once or twice, and I never ever had to use it for all the other languages. So I've been meaning to do a day where I go through and read how to use regular expressions, and I also need to add the constant stuff to the list to learn how to use them, and maps. It seems like those 3 things I could solve all the problems that I've come across with either regular expressions, maps, and using constant. Because every time I finish a CADA, all the cool kids' answers, the ones at the top, are all using one of those 3 things. So... Oh, the arrow thingy is lambda, input to output. Fascinating. I don't know, I think arrow thingy might catch on. Give it some time. Okay, what are we looking for? So that makes more sense. something like constant squares equals string array dot map n lambda, that's nowhere near as fun as arrow thingy, but n lambda plus n times 2. n lambda n to the power of 2 is another way of writing the function n return blankety blank. Oh. Interessante. It's so much shorter. That's fascinating. I'd much rather travel with a lambda than a full-blown return. Userman 2. Love your voice. It's soothing. Yes, good for falling asleep to. It's also probably the shockingly boring content, so it's a balance of the two. The plus in front of the n converts the string into an integer. The plus in front. Aha! Well, damn, now that you've kind of explained all that, that's way prettier than all of this that I'm doing. This is... I don't even know what this is. You know what this is? This is if Igor. Igor? We're going to stick with Igor because I prefer Young Frankenstein to the original. This is basically what would happen if Igor were to be the one who made Frankenstein's monster instead of Dr. Frankenstein. This amalgamation of nonsense. This is a beast. No one wants to look at this. This is never going to walk. Yeah, not good. Not pretty. So, now that Topher's explained all the aspects of the much more concise answer, I'm really dying to try that out. I just felt like I got so close, maybe, with this. I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And I think there's less work converting it to the concise version than there is in trying to patch this nightmare together. We're gonna kill all the nonsense. The eyes have it. Super mega death on 3. And 3, 2, and 1. Execute. Kaboom. It can't walk because you didn't set can walk equal to true. That's funny. That's good. Yes. It's alive. It's also not this. So, if I were a dude and I wanted to make this happen, constant, you know what? Let's keep a little bit of nonsense alive down here as I piece together Topher's beautiful solution. Shall we? Constant squares. Squares? No, that's not right. Squares. There we go. Deep beep beep doo 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 dee 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 doo. String r dot map. String array dot map life. Dee 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 dee. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Userman 2. Yes, so it won't throw out that. Well, usually we will end up clearing them. But yes, good call. That way CODEWARS doesn't yell at us with cranky errors. We were mapping things. We were mapping Topher. Oh my god. I just holy hell. Return can't even say it. Return end son of a bitch. This is the lack of food. Delirium's kicking in. Return end toString dot split dot map n lambda plus n squared dot join for 0 readability. I don't recommend writing code this way. Okay, good. That's what I was envisioning. I was envisioning exactly some type of beast like that, but tying all of the last 3 days of Katas together. It was, well, you saw it was just beyond hideous. So yeah, I was trying to tape everything together. Duct tape. Duct tape is what I wanted to use to solve this problem. Okay, but apparently there's using duct tape and JavaScript to solve problems is not recommended. Turns out I was wrong. We were stringing things, mapping. We were turning n into a thing, n lambda, or arrow thingy, whatever you prefer, plus n squared d dum 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 dum. So, question. Since I'm using the map and we've got the constant, this beautiful line of code right here, that essentially eliminates all no, it doesn't eliminate all 3 things. See, we do have the variable, so ripping it to shreds is good. Where it comes in handy is down here. Do I get rid of variable squared number? Is that what's going on? Because now I just want to make sure I implement this in the right place. I'm not sure it equals... No, little cat. Oh my god. Little kitty, why are you typing? No? What did you do? Why are we down here? Why is there a 79 down here, little cat? Son of a bitch. I didn't see what she... Oh my god. Function... God damn it, what did she touch? I don't think she touched anything but... Hey. Yeah, you don't want to be held. Don't stand on the desk. I'm gonna move you. 1, 2, 3. Trust system. 1, 2. Yeah. There you go. You're furry. Oh, okay. There's a 9 down here when there shouldn't be. No, why are you back? Oh my god, you're like Godzilla. Just stay there. Stay away. The city does not need your saving. No. I am so close to solving this. Topher put forth a lot of good effort, and we're so close to utilizing that help. Yes, good. Get the scratches. Be happy. So, copy. We'll get rid of this. There's fur everywhere. Okay. Don't mind me. Variable square number constant. So let me get rid of this bit. See how that goes for us. Yeah, you don't. Run. Okay, cool. Also, another option. Get rid of that guy. We're just trying everything. Instead got undefined. This is the best error that I've received yet. I think I'm close-ish. Not really sure. We don't need the square number, but we do need something. I know I'm close. What's going down? Cat's trying to impress you with its hacking skills. Yeah, she's awful. Topher, yes, Kitty is here with her little awesomeness, trying to steal the spotlight of the stream yet again. C# one-liner for this. String.join. Spacey stuff in quotes. N.select. X. I'm assuming still lambda. Math.power. Integer.parse. X.toString. There's a 2 involved. N being the integer string. Good, good. Now, where the deuce do I have constant living? There was the initial one, constant squares, string.map, n blankety blank. Untested on my phone, that's fine. Topher. N. This was the other version. Now, A. Watch your toes, furry demon. Watch your toes. N. Lambda is another way of writing function n return blank. Now, where, if I was trying to do that, yeah, da-da, dee-da-dee, la-da-da-da, yeah. Something about something. I feel like I'm looking at it. There was this. This was the other part of the hint, the explanation. Not the answer, but pointing to helping explain. I just need to visualize and see it in front of me. N do is equivalent to la da da d. We don't need that. Let's just do a line below. Yarg. If I were to have, that's the same as if I were to have function n curly nonsense. D return n squared. Okay, so that's what this is, and we have this essentially here. And even though we have string.map constant, we're going to need to, would it be square down here? Squares join. Quite possibly. Let's gander at that for a bit. D. Wait a second. Okay, we are getting there. And 2, yeah, not squared. Ah, right. I thought that seemed odd. Example, not the answer. Good, good. Then I'm going, can I, is it wrong for me to do, N, oh god, not capital N. Capital N. D. Can I do plus, can I drop in math square root in there? D. Yeah. Ah, right. Yes, good, good. Yes, okay. Writing. Although I am, don't mind me, copy all this. I'm certain she changed something down here at the bottom. Not that's going to change anyone's day. But reset. There we go. Good, good. Ta-da. Boom. Tons of fun. Alright, so we've got our variable string. N2 string dot split. It gets torn apart into an array. So now we have constant. I guess the thing for me is, how does the constant... How does the constant function? Remember that n is a string. Oh, death. But I can turn it into a number with a plus in front. Maybe. Let me try it with a plus in front. Ah, I worked with a plus in front. Hold on, there's more happening in the chat. Remember that n is a string. Topher, does JavaScript allow string multiplication like Python? Plus n is the string. See, I got, it took a while, but I'm, slow. And we'll get there. It's just we won't get there quickly. You've really got to want it. Yeah, so good. Was that was everything? Okay, good. That was everything. Neat. Topher. Something about Java and Python and string multiplication. I think it does, but the results would not be what you'd expect. Yeah, I'm definitely not the guy to ask. I think I've made that abundantly clear over the last 178 days. Yeah, good. So, we ran the test. Let's attempt it. That plus n thing is so cool. It just turns the number into it immediately. Attempt. And we got squares, and it's joined, and we're parse-inting it. Look at that. Green across the board. Value 941.4. 4,114. 363. 649. With a happy green smiley. Damn straight. Look at that little kitty. No, she's just sleeping here on the desk now. Look at you, covered in fur. That's right. Deal with it. All right. So what's happening? There's more stuff before I submit the final. I think it does won't be what you'd expect. 1 plus 1 would be 11, but I don't know about multiplication. I like CODEWARS. At the end of the you have passed. Yes, good. You don't need the parse int. Oh, yeah, you do. Never mind. Okay, good. Well, I was gonna, even if I didn't, the fact that I passed with it, I was gonna leave it anyways. It shows whatever my solutions are, show mostly, hopefully, where I'm at. Some hideous abomination. An amalgamation of code no one wants to go near. Although the constant thing, that's cool. Okay, so, wow, what is this? Some dude named Val. Okay, so here's what the cool kids had to say. Function square digits num return number. A space plus num dot split dot map function val. Oh, it was the value. Return val times value dot join. Everything crammed onto one line. It can be done. Not exactly our style. Variable array equals number to string dot split dot map function integer variable I parse int return I times I Return parse int array dot join. Okay. Dual variables. Good. Glad to see that. Function square digits num. Variable string num2 string. Results clever end up in an empty array with a handy for loop. I blah 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 string dot length. Result I equals string I times string I. From the array though, return number results dot join. There's a lot going on here. Another for loop. Is anyone using constant like we did? I guess not. Someone must have. Aha! Oh, but they were cool and they got it all in one line. Bastards. Constant square digits equals number. Lambda. Death. I was really getting used to calling it arrow thingy. Damn. But lambda. Number num dot split map. Okay, it's some C on C action and dot join. Alright, good enough. So we're like nowhere, not even in the top 20 with our answer. So we're just gonna live with that. Okay, let's see where we stand. Viewing profile. Day 178. We are now 45% of the way through level 7. We still need to start free code camp. Still need to read up on regular expressions, constants, and maps. Puh, there is so much fur on my tongue. Thank God this is over with. Huge hat tip to Topher. Thank you very much for all the guidance. Also, Userman, for your input and for sticking around. And to anyone else, Bagnala. And to anyone else who may have accidentally stumbled in here to view the stream, any and all views are greatly appreciated. In the meantime, we are concluding day 177. No, day 178. The adventure continues tomorrow with day 179 of the year of streaming and learning to code, but in the meantime, we are stopping the stream. Are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it.